All right, so this is a tutorial on how to calculate specific high day practice times given a certain RPE. We've already taken a look at how to determine your week one global load number when you're coming back from any sort of transition period, and then we've talked about how to scale that global load number from week to week generally. But now we're going to get really specific, and we're going to say, we have 3 high day practices per week. How long should those practices be for a certain intensity or RPE? I've created 2 different tables here that you can replicate on your own and just filled out some of these RPE targets for simplicity's sake. So as with anything, we want to reverse engineer. So where do we need to, by week 1, what should that very first high day practice, how long should that be? First of all, we have a high volume high day, moderate volume high day, and a low volume high day. All right. Just to create some variance, we're saying that the high volume high day is a Saturday match. So imagine that's a 5-set match, 2.5 hours long. And then, competition week, so week 6, we're saying that we're going to play Friday and Saturday. So a Friday match, maybe that's more like a 3-set match. And so that'd be a low volume high day. And we'd have a practice day somewhere in the week. So in week 6, we'd have a high practice day early on, and then we'd play Friday, Saturday. So the preceding 5 weeks, those are going to be practice times. How long should those practices be? So you want to start with the Saturday match, and I'm going to omit the 30-minute warm-up period just for simplicity's sake. So we're only going to look at the match itself, the high-intensity stuff. So a 2.5-hour match, that's about 150 minutes at an RPE of 8. So that's kind of the volume, that's the high volume, high day that we need to be prepared for at the end of our 5-week or 6-week preseason training period. We need to be ready to play a 5-set match at an RPE of 8, which is a 1200 load. We're going to scale by 12.5% week to week. So we're going to take 87.5% of the preceding week, so that 12.5% balance. And that should be the target load number for the high volume high day during week 5. We're going to do the same thing here and just take 87.5% for week 4. So we're scaling by 12.5% as we go along. I'm going to finish this out for these. All right, and just to make things easy, you can highlight this, drag it over. Okay, obviously going to read 0 for a minute. So during week 1, our players or our team's load number for a high volume high day should be 615. And then you can see it scales by 12.5% as we go. For your moderate volume should simply be the high volume day, 80% of the high volume day. So we're just going to take that high volume day and boom, the rest of that fills in. And then the low volume should be 60%. So we see week 1 target number on a high volume high day should be 615, 492 for the moderate, and about 470 for the low volume. So we have over here, we're going to jump over to this table. We have our RPE targets. Week 1 is going to be a 6, so really not that hard, but you're coming back. We're going to have 2 weeks at an RPE of 7 is the highest that we want to really hit, and then we can start to get into 8s and 9s as you get towards week 5 and 6. So the question is, how long should my very first practice be? It's pretty simple. We're just going to take the global load that we know that they need to end up at. We're going to divide it by the RPE. And this makes sense, right? We said a 2.5-hour match. That would equate to a 1200 load. And so we're just going to take that formula and we're going to drag it across. All right, and you can do the same thing for all of these. So moderate volume. Just going to take the load that they should be at and divide it by the target, the RPE target. Same thing for low volume. And then each one of these, you just want to play it out. So we're looking at week 1. Week 1's high volume, high practice day should be 102 minutes at an RPE of 6. So it's a little bit more than an hour and a half. Your moderate volume day is going to be an hour and 20-minute practice, RPE of 6, and then your low volume high day practice is going to be just about an hour. Now you can see these practice times are going to stay similar during week 2 in terms of volume, in terms of duration, but the intensity should get notched up 1. With the intensity staying same, during week 3, our practice volume is going to go up. So same thing with week 4, practice volume stays basically the same, but our RPE increases. So we're accounting for this 12.5% load increase with an increase in RPE or practice time. Hope it helps. Let me know if you have questions.